So here we are with the magnificent Fifth Doctor. Some would say he's the best, and I quite agree. It's Peter Davison. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much. Very nice to be here. Where am I? Oh yeah, I'm in a school. I've gone back to school.
Yeah. We'll start right where right at the beginning of Doctor Who, really, for you. Like, so, how did you get the part of becoming the Fifth Doctor? Because you was obviously taking over Tom Baker, which was a big set of shoes to fill.
Yes, it was. Yes. Well, I'd done a series about 2 years before called All Creatures Great and Small, and one of the people who worked on that show left to go and become the producer of Doctor Who. So I finished the All Creatures Great and Small, and then he rang me up about a couple of years later and said, out of the blue, and said, how would you feel about being the next Doctor?
And there he was for the next couple of years, weren't it? So,
2 3 years.
Yeah. So do you have fond memories of Doctor Who, I take it? Like, being a Doctor, obviously you've probably got quite a lot of stories.
There's something very special about being the Doctor, because it had become, and it remains, a very iconic series. So to be one of a few people who've played the Doctor, it is a great honour, but it was a great time of my life. I wouldn't say that it was the most enjoyable thing I've ever made, simply because it's a fairly technical exercise.
Yeah.
There's a lot of running up and down corridors, acting with green screens. So I probably had more fun in terms of acting on All Creatures Great and Small or on series that I did after that. But I wouldn't have missed it for the world, because I was saving the universe every week.
And obviously, you mentioned All Creatures Great and Small there.
Yeah.
Let's ask you a bit about that, because that must have been quite an interesting role. I mean, you was a vet, wasn't you?
Yeah.
So obviously, that must have been quite interesting with all the animals and what you had to do.
Yeah, I had no idea. I had no idea really about being a vet before I did that series, and certainly not being a farm vet. So when I went up there, I was introduced to our vet advisor, and then for most of the next 2 or 3 years, we had our arm-up cows every week, and we're doing all sorts of extraordinarily terrible things to innocent animals, most of which they rather liked, I think.
Yeah.
But no, it was a great learning experience, and it just to be a hands-on in that gives you some sense of achievement. It takes, I think, 7 years to train to be a vet. No time at all to train to be an actor. Much easier doing it that way.
Yeah,
just be an actor and pretend to be a vet. The chance to pretend you're a vet it was terrific.
So when did your acting career actually start, and what did you do at the start of your acting career?
I went to drama school when I was 18. Went there for 3 years. Left, did a couple of theatre jobs around the place in various, up in Edinburgh and Nottingham Playhouse, and then I got my first break into television, which was in a series called The Tomorrow People, which was BBC's answer to Doctor Who, ITV's answer to Doctor Who.
That's right.
Really, anyway, so I did that, and then I did a series called Love for Lydia, and I thought that would be my big break, but as it turned out, while that was being made, I went up for another part and got that, and that was All Creatures Great and Small, and that sort of just took off in a way that very few series ever do. I think we had 18 million viewers after about the second episode, so it was tremendously successful. So that was really what I have to thank for still being here, really.
Yeah. So we go back to Doctor Who now for a little bit. So do you have a favourite episode or a favourite memory, something that you really relished in doing the actual?
I did one of the stories was Resurrection of the Daleks, which I got to push a Dalek out of a window, and it crashed to the floor and exploded. That was a great thrill. But I think the Earthshock, which was a Cyberman story, was one of my favourites. But I think my most favourite was Caves of Androzani, which is the last story I did.
Everyone rates that very highly, that episode.
They do, yeah. Except for the last 30 seconds when I turned into Colin Baker. Which is a fate worse than death.
Yes. Why did you leave Doctor Who? I mean, was that your choice, or was that something that
No, it was my choice. I could have gone on. They wanted me to go on, and you could have. As far as I know, at that time, you could go on until you decided to stop. I mean, Tom decided to leave. But I was quite young. That was the thing. I was quite young at the time, and I'd just done All Creatures for 3 years. Then I did Doctor Who for 3 years. I just wanted to move on and do other things. It's one of the curses of this business is you ought to be happy doing the same job your entire life, but you're not actually. The way your head works is, I've done this for 3 years, I need to do something else.
Did you get a choice over your costume for the Fifth Doctor?
I suggested that it should be based on a cricketing outfit, but I did not design the outfit.
No.
That was designed for me. So I was very happy with it.
So where did you go after that then?
I did a series for the BBC, classic series called Anna of the Five Towns. Then I did a series called Very Peculiar Practice for the BBC. Then I did a series called Campion for the BBC.
Don't remember that.
Which was based on Marjorie Allingham detective books.
Okay.
Brian Glover and I were in it.
Oh, no, Brian Glover, yeah.
And then I did, what else did I do then? I just seemed to go on working for a long, long time. I was very, very fortunate. Just went from one series to another. So yeah, it's being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, of course. So, what in the time you was in Doctor Who?
Yeah.
Who do you think was your favourite baddie that you faced? I mean, is it the Daleks? Would you say, or have you got a personal favourite?
I like the Cybermen better than the Daleks.
That's my favourite personally.
Yeah, because they look like they could move faster, apart from anything else. So yeah, I would say the Cybermen.
Because you were quite lucky because you met both, didn't you, in your stories?
Yeah.
Some Doctors, didn't get to meet both, and obviously they're the iconic parts of it. So I mean. It's wonderful been speaking to you, Peter. It's been lovely. Perfect. Thank you very much, Peter. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.